Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as here guys are ready to do battle between the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be Case Keenum, the 6'1 QB out of the University of Houston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Let's go.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The numbers for Perine in last week's game, 12 carries, 51 yards.
He's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. On second down, here's Keenum. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now Perine, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Adrian Claiborne, the one who makes the stop. A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
On play action, now Keenum. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Let's go.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. So on fourth down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. Back deep is Phillip Dorsett. And this will be taken at the 13. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. On first down, it's Darnold. They'll check this one down to Michel. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Now, they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
A first down throw, Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So the Broncos coming out now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
On second down, here's Keenum. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
Gardner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Keenum now to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Dante Hightower in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the gun, Keenum. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Keenum. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Derek Rivers coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Returning it, Carlos Henderson. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. First down, Darnold. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 71 yards.
3rd in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot, hot.
Darnold to throw again. And able to find Dorsett. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So we played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 3-0 is our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Again, Darnold escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Second down and 10. Darnold. His throw incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. To the air again, Darnold. And that's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Pats able to cash in for 6.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the focus of our players' spotlight right now is shining on Case Keenum. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Sutton ripping it in on the left side. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
They'll fake the give. Now Keenum under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Keenum. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Here's Marquette King now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Dorsett on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15. And the Patriots take over. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
3rd and long. It's Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And taken at the 46. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll drop it off to Pirine, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Keenum. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Keenum. He'll get this out to his running back, Pirine. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. They begin with Michel on the ground. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Darnold. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. New England on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Play action. It's Darnold. Now he'll escape to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different in that position.
Samaje Perine on the offense heading back out there. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap for Keenan. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner. Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas. Not an easy thing for them to do.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami, ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed, speed, speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Buying time to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And he fires one incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Samaje Perine of the offense heading back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Keenum to Sanders for the Denver first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run it here with P-Ryan. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Keenum, and that is incomplete here.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Keenum. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
Yeah, he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Philip Dorsett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Santos now to add the PAT. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. It's Pirine to begin the drive. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On second down, here's Keenum. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The final shot before half for Keenum. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now Pirine is stripped of the football, and the Patriots have it. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Ben Roethlisberger, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in their ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Redskins. Alex Smith, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They start the second half with Michel on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on second down is Darnold. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. He'll be saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Yeah. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back to the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Let's go.
Now Keenum throwing on second. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Keenum got a man. He finds Sanders. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Pats will take over at their own 20. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. And some room to roam now. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, they put it all together on that one. Good vision, good blocking. A toss play to the left. How do you toss it?
Yeah, a toss is the underhand kind of egg toss. The pitch is kind of, if you're running the option, you pitch it end over end, correct?
Yeah, I agree totally. I agree totally. And in the NFL, we'll see a lot more tosses than pitches. Because if you're pitching it, you might lose your quarterback.
Absolutely. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on first down.
Watch him now, Barney.
They go play action here on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And the defense almost got one there, partner.
That could have been his first pick. He's been good so far, but you're right, that was nearly a costly mistake.
Sometimes you get a little bit too confident when the game's going along as it has been for him.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
On second down, Michelle. Open space inside the 10. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Watch him now, Barney.
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And they will run it with Michelle. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive starts with a handoff to Pirine. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Dante Hightower on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They fake the handoff. Now Keenum. Flushed out right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And now out come the Patriots. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed it.
Super tall.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Over.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Welcome back now to Denver. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Darnold from the gun to Michel on the dump off. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Santos with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through the...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So the Patriots coming out now, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it 24-13. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. On the return is Henderson. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Flush to his right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On second down, Darnold goes right side, complete to Grunt. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Rob Gronkowski, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now the point after try for Santos. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And got his man complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for the Broncos. And even 50 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Keenum on 1st down. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. And he gets this up just shy of the 15.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
following the penalty, Michel. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Now that's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney!
Boston Scott, his first carry. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Leopard!
On first down, it's Darnold. Being chased out left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down.
No. Check. Patriot! No. Check. Patriot! Watch him now, Barney!
On second and 10, Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
New England on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney!
Play action. It's Darnold. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, right at the 15-yard line here. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now it's Keenum, and his throw here is incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Broncos on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, Keenum. The Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Keenum throwing once more. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. A Bronco first down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas. On first down, it's Keenum. That is caught at the 7. He got 29 yards that time. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Keenum again. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Michael Kendricks. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Here's Keenum. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Keenum now on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Now Keenum got to have this one. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and a short return to the 6-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Pats, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss, and they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.